Hello, everyone. My name is Jeremy, creator and co-host of the Star Trek Wars podcast. Joining me tonight is my co-host and co-life partner, Chelsea. Hello, Chelsea.
Hey.
Welcome to Star Trek Wars, your official bootleg Star Trek podcast. The episode we're reviewing tonight will be rated on a scale from 1 to 10 by us, the co-hosts, and you guys in the Star Trek Wars Council that left a rating on our Facebook page. If you wish to join the council and have your vote counted for next week's episode, head over to that page. You can find us by searching for Star Trek Wars. The council should pop up right at the top. There you can rate the episode yourself and can also leave a comment that'll be potentially read on air. It's a great community. We're all on there, very active, and love talking Trek with you. Chelsea, are you ready to start today's talking?
Yes.
Then let's go. Star Trek Lower Decks Season 2, Episode 5, An Embarrassment of Dooplers. Written by David Einfeld and David Wright, and directed by Kim Arndt. Mariner and Boimler try to track down the location of a legendary Starfleet party. The bridge crew deals with an insecure alien diplomat. Okay, Chelsea, what are your general thoughts this week before we delve into the episode?
Did you say Kim Arndt? Like, aren't you gonna go?
Yeah, it kind of A-R-N-D-T, aren't.
Arndt.
Like, I aren't.
I think you should pronounce the D. Arndt.
It's when you get like 4 consonants in a row.
Yeah, it's unfair.
Really gets, yeah.
Anyway, I liked it. I thought it was fun to watch and just kind of like a feel-good episode, which most of them I think are, but this one was a little bit more feel-gooder.
Okay. I definitely agree.
What about you?
Well, I agree. I think it's definitely a return to form after the low point of last week. So I think we're back, baby. And we thought with us being back, we would start a new segment because obviously there's like 100 Easter eggs every week. And I'm not a professional. Like, I love Trek, but I'm not a professional.
Okay, I roll.
And I can't... Like normally, if there's 50 callbacks and Easter eggs, as a Trekspert, I will maybe spot half of them, right?
That's like 25.
Yeah, it is. It is.
That's good.
But I don't spot them all. So if you're not going to do them all, why bother? So then we thought, why don't we have you, who relatively new to the world of Trek yourself, a couple years, why don't I have you find the Easter eggs and callbacks that you as a new person to Trek have found in something I like to call, let's say, Chelsea's Callback Corner.
Like that alliteration. Also, you just said there were 100, so I'm feeling pretty insecure about the Easter eggs I was able to...
Okay, I feel like I understand it. Let me try this again. Chelsea's Callback Corner! Okay, you were saying that prepare to be underwhelmed?
Yeah, I was feeling pretty good about this until you're like, there's like 50 in every episode. And I'm like, oh, shit.
This one, maybe more than ever.
Oh, my God. So much pressure. I'm feeling a little bit like a Doopler right now.
Oh, okay, calm down. Don't make me insult you.
Well, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, so what did you find?
Oh, we're going to do that now.
That was... You had 10 introductions.
I guess I just assumed it was going to be later.
Oh, I'm like a sneak peek, like just teasing it?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so.
Chelsea, we can go into prose if you prefer, and then we can work
now
up.
I'm ready. Okay, Easter eggs.
Easter eggs.
Okay. The dress uniforms are the same as the ones from Insurrection, which
yes.
we just watched. Quarks, is that really still an Easter egg, though?
It's definitely callback, and I love that they're definitely saying that it's been franchised because now we've seen Quarks here a couple times and on Picard.
Every episode, just about. So I don't really know if it's an Easter egg, but like I need to pad these numbers. So,
but we do get a lot more of Quarks this week, and we even see some things that were purchased in Quarks this week. At the end, the Deep Space Nine model.
Oh, right. Okay. Let me finish mine first. Okay. I don't know if this is an Easter egg, but asking if some of the Data bubble bath bottles were lore.
Yes.
I don't know. This is not correct either. But the blue guys that are hairdressers, those were hairdressers and
Yes, those are Booleans.
Booleans, that's the name of them, yes.
That's a very deep pull for you, Chelsea.
Is it called Dumjot? No.
Yeah, Domjot.
No. Is that it?
Play Domjot.
Wait,
Schumann.
No. Frick, what is it? The game that Cork has in DS9, he's got the girl.
Oh, Dabo.
Dabo, that's
Yes.
it. Okay. I screwed that one up, but I had the right idea. We saw a Captain Pike chair that was not inhabited by Captain Pike, but nonetheless.
Very good.
Is a Voyager D mention? Is that an Easter egg?
Yes, I think Mariner's trying to come up with a ship.
Yeah.
Now at this point in time, there's no Voyager D.
Well, what's the one that we see in Discovery?
Voyager.
No, in Discovery we see a Voyager like E or something.
Yeah, like G or something.
G?
But that's 1,000 years later. So at this point where Lower Decks takes place, which is just a few years after Voyager has returned, as far as we know, Voyager, the very first one, is still around. So there shouldn't even be a Voyager A.
Okay.
But she's just throwing out letters and ship names to try and sneak in. So it's okay.
All right. I'm going to need the echo sound effect for this one because it's very exciting.
All right.
Ready?
Ready.
On my cue.
Okay. Now?
Morn!
Epic.
Oh, Morn. It looked like his little picture was on the wall, too, in that bar. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't Morn.
Yeah, I think.
But it looked like Morn.
Orions, Lurians. That's
Lurians?
that's the race of the Morn. So we see a bunch of them basically in every bar. So we don't know if it's Morn.
I feel like if it was Morn, then Mariner would have been like, Morn, my dude.
Oh, that's true.
But I'm counting it as an Easter egg.
Okay.
The ship from First Contact was sitting on the bar. I was really excited that I recognized that, even though I had to double check it with you.
Yes, and right above that, the Phoenix was the weapon
Phoenix.
from the Doomsday Machine, like that long cone from the original series. That was killing things. It was like that cone, like those things you put on your fingernails and eat.
Bugles?
Yeah, it looked like a big bugle. That was an original series episode.
That sounds familiar, but I don't remember anything other than what you just described.
Perfect.
All right. There was a Gorn running the food stand.
Yeah.
Making meatball sticks or something. And then this one I don't feel like really counts, but Akana, I have no idea what the hell that is. My character knowledge stops at the name, but it felt pretty freaking Easter eggy because they were just like, oh, Akana's in there. What the hell? So I'm gonna need some explanation on that.
You'll get some later.
Okay, that's my failed attempt at Easter eggs. Please be nice.
Very good. Thank you, Chelsea. Well, why don't we just jump into pros then? What worked for you?
The Dooplers reminded me of little space vampires, which immediately made me think of Londo from Babylon 5. They have little capes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love that Mariner just has a really weird habit of leaving people on planets and nobody ever really talks about it. It's that's reason for concern. Rutherford is so socially just sweet, right? All the time. He's just so nice. So I love the fact that the Dooplers he's leaving because of us. And he's yeah, it's pretty obvious.
I do love sassy Rutherford.
Yes, he's just so caught up in the model that he's I don't have time for your shit. Yeah, it's because of you. God, you're annoying me.
Yeah, whenever he loses and gets sassy, I love. He did that once in the trial episode last year where he got a little sassy. He's damn.
Yes, I love it. I have never witnessed a more perfect visual representation of what anxiety and overthinking looks like. And I hate how relatable that was, but I was oh my God, yeah. This is what it feels like. I love that the Vulcans are just being Vulcans. 2 cars literally drive through their docked ship and they're just fascinating. That's such a Vulcan thing to do. And the little chipmunk voice from the ship, when they detonate the warp core.
So cute.
So cute. Oh
Cutest
my
warp
goodness.
core
Yes.
detonation ever.
I would have paid a lot of money to see Dr. T'Ana single-handedly unmultiply or whatever you want to say.
Yeah, she was their weapon.
Oh my God, just being allowed to verbally assault all of these annoying little pink things. Oh, she would have been so. She should have been given that chance.
Yeah,
she works really hard. let her have this.
Right. It's her moment to shine.
It really is. I love that Jadzia and Esri get a shout out when Tendi gives Rutherford the DS9 model. Also love the DS9 model. I don't think that's an Easter egg, though. Would you consider that an Easter egg?
No, but it's a callback for sure to another show, Deep Space Nine.
Okay. So maybe that should have gone on my...
I do love that it was even like the photorealistic actual picture of Deep Space Nine.
I saw that and I was like, where can I buy that for Jeremy?
I did buy it. I had it. I think it's still in my parents' garage.
Oh.
But it's like in pieces. There might only be like a third of it left hanging somewhere.
Rutherford and Tendi it and work on it, and then people will leave us alone.
Yeah, but we don't want to finish it completely.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
I want to hang it in our room.
Okay.
I think that's really all I have for pros. What worked for you?
A lot. My favorite Easter egg that came out of this was they said, hey, that's Captain Shelby and her first officer. The first officer was, if you remember, like a multi-eyed, weird-looking alien.
Yeah, he looked like a Prothean.
Yeah, very much from Mass Effect. That was actually the original design of Saru.
No way.
Before they couldn't get the eyes, like it was a little too bulky, and so. But that was a nice little
cool.
Easter egg because
What
that
is
was,
he?
I don't know.
They're so cool looking.
Because until this, it wasn't canon because it was supposed to be what the Kelpians were going to look like.
Oh, so
then,
he's like an original working title Kelpian.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Basically, yes. But now they kind of work that design into Lower Decks and so on Star Trek. So that's cool.
Nice.
The Dooplers played brilliantly by Richard Kind, who was like the perfect choice for this. You probably don't recognize that name, but he's been in 1,000 things, Richard Kind. I'm going to send you a picture of him because he has that voice. And once you, like, I don't know who else they could have.
You're telling me this guy's name is Dick Kind?
Yes.
Okay.
He looks like this.
Oh my God! Yes, it's that guy.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
He's just a very, like, no one else talks like him, and he's very, like, that's just the perfect.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Yeah, that was pretty perfect casting.
I like that they used William Boimler's existence to get into the party. Like, that's good. Like, they're letting us know we still know that William Boimler is out there. So, like you said, Rutherford Sass, I love that. I love that even when they're in dress uniforms, Mariner still rolls up her sleeves.
Yeah, that was a little bit more noticeable in those dress uniforms too. Because Boimler had like red on the sleeve, and I was like, "Oh, is that a mistake?" And then I was like, "Oh, I can't compare it to Mariner because she's always breaking dress code."
The man in the Captain Pike beeping wheelchair, he bears a striking resemblance to Alex Kurtzman.
Oh, I guess I was just going for Stephen Hawking, but
which makes sense.
Now I gotta look up Alex Kurtzman
because the character is getting in the way of Trek moving forward. So,
what?
That's for you guys that still believe Kurtzman was fired 4 years ago.
Oh my God, it does look like him though.
The old man was like, this is how I die. And then was a little let down when he's like, still alive.
I think little is an understatement.
And I do love that they got the Deep Space Nine model from Quarks because you have the little Quarks logo on the.
Oh, I didn't.
So they bought it at Quarks, and then it comes with an Esri and a Jadzia. Well, of course it would because it's from Quarks, and he loved Esri and Jadzia.
I bet. So at this point in time, Cisco's not.
He's one with the Prophets.
Okay, so he's not running DS9.
No, as far as we know,
So
Kira is
Kira
still
is?
running it.
Oh my God, I bet she freaking hates that he's out there selling models of her station to people. Oh my God, I bet she hates it so much.
Ejecting the warp core scene, that whole thing, super adorable. Even like down to like using the little tweezers to turn the keys. Your paw is weak and it disgusts me. I don't know what that means, but I don't like your tone, which is a great, paw is like the Bajoran, like soul or whatever, like the the religious figures will like grab your earlobe and like you have a strong
Yes.
paw.
Because that's what the paw racer named after.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Frick, that should have been a callback, and I didn't get it.
That's okay. You can't get them all. You're not a Trekspert, but you got
Like 7.
there's so many. There's so many. And I love the ending very much. This is the first time we really see the senior officers and the lower deckers come together in a fun, friendly scenario, throwing aside their rank and just being comrades and having like a good time. It was fun seeing like Mariner and Boimler talking about who's number one, and Captain Freeman coming was like, I heard it. Like, no, you're number one. Like, I heard just like just no angst or anxiety. Like, they're all just having fun all together. And the last shot of Mariner and Boimler etched next to Kirk and Spock really like warms my heart. That's such a great way to end it. And it's like, yeah, who knows what the future holds for these two? But as far as Star Trek right now, the future is very bright. Do you have any cons for this episode?
I have a few, not a lot. I guess I don't really know if either one of these are cons. More just like observations / questions. I thought it was a little weird that Mariner and Boimler wouldn't invite Tendi and Rutherford to the party. Like, they never even gave them the option. Like, I feel like they're all best friends, so why would you just assume that, like, they probably would have been like, no, we're going to work on this model. And been just, like, adorable little nerds doing their own thing, but it feels like they should have
that's true.
offered that.
I even thought that maybe it's because you only get to bring a +1, like most parties, but then there wasn't even a +1 because Mariner wasn't even allowed in. So
shit, Captain Freeman wasn't even allowed in.
That's true.
And the next one was, it did feel a little bit like a ripoff of Trouble with Tribbles.
Yeah. I prefer homage.
Okay. I said what I said, which is probably the incorrect term, but I said what I said. It's not a con. I still don't.
Yeah.
I don't think it's funny because it took me watching it a second time and about halfway through to like even realize like, oh my God, like that's why this is familiar. And then like you were discussing troubles with Tribbles, and I was like, why is he even talking about this? Has nothing to do. And then like when that light bulb came on, I felt really proud, also really dumb that it took so long. But those are, I mean, if you can call them cons, that's all I have written down.
I don't have many either.
Okay.
And at first I thought I wasn't super happy with the title, An Embarrassment of Dooplers. I thought, because it was very much like The Trouble with Tribble. So I was hoping there'd be more alliteration, like the dilemma with Dooplers.
The disappointing Dooplers.
Yeah, but then when you feel like that's exactly what happens. Like it's almost you call like a murder of crows, like a gaggle of geese. They are an embarrassment of Dooplers because that's what they are. They got there from embarrassment, which I kind of love. So I actually, that title did. And Dooplers themselves are kind of an interesting race because just like how they survive, if you like make them nervous or embarrassed, like eons ago when they're being like hunted, if one's about to like they duplicate to like survive probably when they're scared, or which is evolved into embarrassment. But then also if they get too big for their britches and start getting like overrunning, once you start fighting them back, they drop back down. So they do have a way of like controlling their population.
Are they is that something we've seen in Star Trek? Okay.
Yeah, brand new
So I was
race.
like really interested in how they would make that look outside of animation. Like,
sure.
oh my God, they just look like pink Pepto-Bismol bugs.
Yeah, the original series, they would just be like, a pink guy.
Yeah,
with a Doctor Strange cape.
Yes. Like what are the little things from Doctor Who? The big orange things that have like all like the suckers on them.
Oh yeah, the little
They'd be like
shapeshifters.
pink versions of those.
Yeah, which is weird because that is a race, since it's unique to Lower Decks, that really is a race they could have done in another Star Trek series, which is kind of cool too.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that crazy. Other than that, just corrupt Starfleet cops and a mean girls hierarchy for parties doesn't sit great with me in the Trek era, but it's just, that's like nitpicky stuff.
Yeah, and I also think that these guys are like super low ranking.
Yeah.
So that might actually be what it's like. Because I mean, that's kind of what it, in the real world, like there's always that level of like the elite versus like
right.
I don't know. Sucks, but kind of funny.
Oh, Chelsea, you know what that sound means? It's time for this week's 3 Trekcommendations. I'm never. Oh, no, wait. Okay, I'm never gonna. I get tired of that. Yes, 3 Trekcommendations is the portion of this where, based on this week's episode, I will recommend 3 Star Trek episodes that reminded me of. I'll give the title in the series, and then Chelsea, you will get 3 questions you can ask me to guess the synopsis of that episode and the reason why I put it on this list.
Oh, I have to, okay.
If you need them.
Okay.
You might just have it.
Yeah.
So we'll start with number 3, and the title is Allegiance. And this is a Next Generation Season 3, Episode 18. What do you think Allegiance is about?
Who's the main character?
Picard.
I hate that. It's like fucking obviously, right? Does he stay on the ship or does he do an away mission?
Both at the same time.
I got to get better at asking questions.
It's interesting you asked
Both
that question.
at the same time.
Exactly.
Okay, so.
And no, he doesn't get embarrassed and duplicate himself.
Well, shit. Who's the second character? If you say Picard, I'm going to throw a book at your face.
Kind of. They're all in it.
Allegiance. Okay, so I'm assuming it has something to do with the storyline in Lower Decks. Wait. Oh my God. I honestly am having the hardest time with this.
Okay, so what is your synopsis for Allegiance?
Okay. In Allegiance, Picard gets duplicated in a rare, not so rare, let's be real, transporter accident. And so there's like 2 of them, right? And so like one of them goes to work on the Titan in the future where Riker's already the captain. And then one of them has to go back to the Enterprise and roll the credits.
I love it. That's not bad. But also, the Titan, we are all the way through Star Trek and through the movie Insurrection. The Titan has never been mentioned up to that point.
I said the future.
Actually, I want to leave a little bit of mystery to this episode because I would like to watch this one with you. It's a really good episode in season 3. It is the reason I put it there, and it is the overall score we gave it out of 10 on the podcast was a 7.08.
Okay.
Super solid, and that puts it at 235th all time out of 716 episodes.
Okay, so average.
Yeah. Very good.
Average.
And I put on this list because of Melvis, who is a Mariner's associate that double crosses him. He's got like that hood.
Oh, God. So wait, Melvis is in this episode? In the Allegiance episode?
Yes.
My God. So that's another Easter egg I missed.
The only time I've ever seen that race was in Allegiance episode. And in this, Picard gets taken and put in a room with 4... Well, there's 4 of them, 3 other alien races, and none of them know why they're there. And this Melvis guy, his race is one of those guys, so you learn more about those people. But they really translate well onto the cartoon form, because I thought he looked really cool in this.
I have a fun fact.
Oh, hit us.
Did you know that based on your synopsis of Allegiance, where there were 4 people put into a room and they didn't know why they were there, that is where they got the movie idea for Saw.
Oh, yeah.
It took a dark turn, but that's where they originally were like, hey, this is great. Let's do something disgusting with this.
Yeah, now you think about it, it is weird because at the end of the episode, Picard saws his foot off because he's got to get back to his family.
Right, and turns out he was actually Wesley from The Princess Bride.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. How far does this conspiracy go?
Episode 2 of my Trekcommendations is a little episode called The Best of Both Worlds. This was Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 3, Episode 26.
So that's like the last episode, or second to last.
Yeah, very end of Season 3
Is
feelings.
Q in it?
No.
Okay.
What are you thinking? I'm going to find some game show music to play.
I assume I'm not allowed to just Google this. The Best of Both Worlds. Have I seen this episode? This sounds familiar.
Yes.
Okay. And it's related to Lower Decks.
Yes, and that is your 3 questions.
That wasn't a question, sir.
And it is related to 3 decks?
To 3 decks.
Lower Decks?
That was a statement. I said, and it is related to Lower Decks because The Best of Both Worlds. Oh, my God. I can't believe I've seen this. I have no idea. I honestly have no idea.
All right, well, this places at number 16 all time on our list with a 9.36, which, crazy enough, should be higher. But one of our cast members gave it an 8, while the rest of the team gave it a 10. This is the season 3 finale with the Borg, where they kidnap Jean-Luc Picard and turn him into
Locutus.
And the reason I picked this episode is because Captain Shelby was in that 2-parter. She was the one gunning for Riker's position as number 1. And now we get to see her achievement fulfilled as she is now actually captain, which is what she wanted to be the whole time. So this is the first time we've seen her in books, but this is the first time we've heard from Shelby since The Best of Both Worlds.
Okay.
And she's a captain now.
Okay.
And her first officer is a proto-Saru.
Okay. I wouldn't have gotten that.
And then finally, you might get this one. The name of this episode is called The Outrageous Okona. And it's a Next Generation episode, season 2, episode 4. All right, Chelsea, you got 3 questions.
I don't even need them. All right. The Outrageous Okona is about this guy named Okona, and he's a DJ. And the bridge crew of the Enterprise are like, hey, let's have a really cool party for Picard Day, because that's a thing, I think. Mm-hmm. And Okona comes and he's like DJing and stuff. And then he goes missing, and nobody ever hears from him again until this Lower Decks episode. And they're like, oh, shit, Okona's here. We thought he was dead.
Chelsea, you are about 99% correct on this one. I think that's
you gotta be lying.
Exactly what the episode is, minus the DJ part.
Was he a magician?
He was just, the dude was outrageous.
Okay, all right.
Fun fact, though. He's played by Billy Campbell, who went on to become the Rocketeer. Mm-hmm. And also, we've seen him recently on the AMC show The Killing as the mayor.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's doing great. But yeah, he was outrageous. He did have, he carried a thing on his shoulder. I don't think it was a boombox, but it is now on Lower Decks. So, Chelsea, you did great.
Hey, thanks.
All right, let's get into this week's fan comments. Senior Council Member Will Flores says, as with most episodes of any Trek, it's fine. The Doopler gang was funny for a minute, then it got old real fast. But overall, I thought it was okay. He gives it 6 squiggly lines. Barbara Whipple says, it's a cartoon. As long as it is funny and somewhat makes sense, it's doing its job. My non-Trekkie husband is watching these with me, and he laughed at the Tribble people. And finally, Senior Council Member Wayne Fraser says, I love this episode. A real return to form after a misstep last week. The very concept of the Dooplers was inspired, and the casting of Richard Kind as the ambassador was about as pitch perfect as it gets. This was also the first episode where the senior staff storyline was the most interesting. I really liked the Mariner Boimler and Tindy Rutherford storylines as well, particularly as they addressed major issues from the end of last season, which has been mostly glossed over so far. Very good. Thank you, everybody, for writing in. Chelsea, let's go ahead and review this episode. What do you give an embarrassment of Dooplers?
I am giving this 9 Easter eggs that I was able to find.
Very good.
You?
I am going to give this an 8 old Bajoran sail ship paintings, which is one
Did
of
I miss that too?
Oh, my. There's too much, Chelsea. In the bar, every single painting and picture on the wall in the back is an actual thing from Star Trek.
I was trying to look at them.
The biggest one behind Boimler and Mariner was a old Bajoran sail ship that Sisko recreated in episode or season 3 of Deep Space Nine called Explorers. So that might be his ship that he made, but it's a great one. He just built it to build something, and him and Jake went on it to prove that old school Bajorans could travel the stars.
So he actually built a ship.
Yes.
I just assumed you meant paint. I was like, geez,
No.
like all these guys paint.
He built it from scratch because the Cardassians didn't believe that the Bajorans could get out of their system with these old sail ships. So he made one to set sail to prove them wrong. And him and Jake went on a little adventure. It's very good.
Nice. Cool.
The Star Trek Wars Council give it an average score of a 6.9. All right. So how did Lower Decks do this week? Well, using the combined average score of ourselves and you guys who voted at home, let's tally some numbers.
Beep boop. Boop, beep, boop. Beep, boop.
It comes to you with an average score of a 7.96. Tallied. And that'll do it for this week. Star Trek Wars is available on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and anywhere else fine podcasts are heard. You can also find us on Twitter at the Star Trek Wars. And if you want some merchandise, head over to redbubble.com or follow the link attached to this episode. Make sure to give our main podcast a listen, as we have already covered every single episode of Star Trek ever released, including reviewing all 716 episodes previously mentioned. And we are currently running through all the Trek movies. We just released our review of Star Trek Insurrection. Chelsea, always a pleasure. Thanks for doing this with me.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, Chelsea and I are back immediately for Lower Decks Episode 5, The Spy Humongous. And if you're listening to this, it's already out. So check it out, and we'll see you guys next time. Next time.
Thanks for listening to Star Trek Wars.